So the all clear has just been given for those who would like to go ashore here in Bimini, the Bahamas, on the Celebrity Silhouette. I did find a few things interesting. I, going into it, had quite a few questions, so I did my best to answer those questions. Here as we look as the beautiful sunrise over Bimini, you can see that it is a very small island. It is very much an undisturbed island. So stay tuned as we go into what I think you should know about Bimini when you visit. Hey, how are you?
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you. Everyone was so friendly, whether you were getting off the ship or getting on. As you see here, Miami and Bimini are 50 miles or 80 kilometers apart. You can see Nassau and Freeport in this same area, so if you're familiar with any of that, you can kind of get a better idea of where Bimini is. When you get off the ship, there will be someone there from the island that will offer you a map. This is that map. Feel free to pause so you can see what you might be looking for and where it's located on the island. The pier itself is a very long pier, quite a bit of walking to even get to the tram. On a windy day, and this was, I would definitely tell you to hold on to your hats, hold on to anything that might blow away, because it is very possible it's going to do it in the first few steps. This is my shirt actually blowing around in front of the camera, and I was just like, wow, this is so windy. It makes it much cooler, so that part was enjoyable, but it is definitely very windy and understandable considering it's such a small island there in the Bahamas. The tram was definitely what I would consider convenient. It will tell you here where the tram actually stops. The director will also tell you where the tram stops. He will let you know exactly where he's stopping, what is at those locations. At least ours did. They were very informative and also, in some ways, protective. We'll get into that in just a little bit. But we enjoyed our ride here with the tram alone without even having to do much else. You do see some people walking. You can choose to walk. It is a half a mile, quarter a mile, depending on where you're heading into town. So if that's something that you want to do, or if you're just planning to go to the beach, which is just at the end here, that's something you can do as well. Notice the security station here. There are barricades up, and the only vehicles allowed in and out are the trams. So our first stop was the casino, and yes, there is a casino on the island. It is part of the Paradise Resort. Fisherman's Village, where you can rent a golf cart. I promise you will not miss the fact that you are able to rent golf carts on this island. They are almost at every location. Very friendly, as you see here. Have no problem saying, hey, how you doing? Enjoy the island. But they definitely hope that you will rent a golf cart. More on that in just a moment. The hotel on the island, or the main one, there is more than one on this island, was the Hilton. As of April 1st of this year, it was actually taken over by the rest of the resort that is on the island, which is the Paradise Resort. It is the location that if you are cruising with Virgin, you get to participate in that for free because that is their excursion. And then those that aren't, are able to pay. This is the hotel. Here in the location, you can see the port where you come in the distance. The tram is quite noisy. I mean, it is a tram, so I turned it down for the video so you don't hear this through the whole video. So, can you tell that we are at the beach club? Everyone's wishing everyone good morning. They're also given instructions because there are several different bands that can be purchased that let you know if you have all access, meaning that, yes, I want to drink today, if you're only going to the pool, or if you're only staying on the beach. There's like several different bands that you can purchase. So they were letting them know green bands go this way, yellow bands go this way. But it was definitely it's some excitement for those that were wanting to do this excursion. I'm not a very big beach person. I love the beach, but I need the shade. And I'm not a drinker. So it wasn't something that I was sure I would enjoy. But after touring Bimini, I would definitely consider doing this when visiting Bimini in the future. So this is the end point. So we are now going back towards the ship, stopping once again at the Fisherman's Village. That is an area that you can shop in. It has a lot of different shops. They do have a lot of people hopefully wanting you to purchase or buy. And I would tell you to consider that or just be prepared for that when visiting that area. It is the only area on the island into which you're able to actually purchase something unless you go to one of the resorts or one of the hotels and shop in, one of those shops. But if you're looking for more of a touristy place to purchase things, that would be the location that you would want to do that at.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, I said I would go into the golf cart situation later. I cut the video at that point. The gentleman that was speaking to us, not a problem. He said, "Don't you want to enjoy the island? I hope you have a good time. Come back and see us." But there was a poor gentleman in the back who was not able to tell whomever was asking him no. He showed a slight interest, and that is all it took. And he was begging the tram to stop, stop. This guy wants to rent. Don't go any further. And I was extremely impressed at how our tram driver handled it. He knew what to say, he knew how to say it, and we drove off. There was no letting him off. There was no question about letting him off. We drove off. Um, Definitely look into the rental there on the island. You can see here, there's quite a few to choose from. I am not here to recommend a particular one to you, but I would tell you in advance, be prepared for what you may be dealing with and have an answer, whether it is no or you already know who you're renting from. You can see here the beach at the end of the pier, very easy access, and you don't have to go far. I do hope that you have enjoyed the information that I have shared with you here on Bimini. It is definitely just touching the surface, but it hopefully gives you a better idea of what you may or may not want to do if Bimini is a port of call on your next cruise. There are definitely beaches to explore. One that you saw right here as you're going back to the ship, you come off and you go to the right, and it's right there, so you don't have to go far. There's also plenty of other places to go as well. So you are going to need some form of transportation unless you're prepared to walk a mile or so, half a mile there, half a mile back type situation. Be prepared for that. Again, the tram drops you off at the basic locations. They don't go to those beaches. So keep that in mind. But I will say overall, I am definitely more prepared for my next visit to Bimini and knowing what I'm going to do in Bimini. Again, I said I would probably end up staying at a resort just to be able to experience it with some shade and some relaxation and just, keeping it calm, depending on the ship that I'm on. On locations like this, sometimes I just choose to stay on the ship and film the ship for you guys or enjoy my day just a little bit. So if you have any questions, definitely reach out to me. I will do my very best to answer them. We enjoyed the beautiful water in Bimini. The people were, like I said, extremely friendly. So keep that in mind, and I hope that you enjoy your time on your next cruise if Bimini is your port of call. We were so impressed with the people here on Celebrity. We have since done another cruise since then, and my sister keeps going back to how nice they were and how quiet and calm it was. Mm, And I mean, it definitely is. They're very respectful. They call you by your name. They welcome you back on the ship. It's just a little different, that's for
Welcome
sure.
back, ma'am. Thank you.
As you see, welcome back. As you saw in the beginning, he called me by my name and, said, thank you very much. They try to make eye contact with you. They try to let you know that you matter. So when we're speaking about Celebrity, I'll definitely say that is something that we noticed. And if that's something that you're looking for, maybe consider them as one of your next cruises. So as my sister and I head back in to the ship and discuss our day here on Bimini and everything that was happening, we got to experience something that maybe not many people do. We got to see a schooner, beautiful ship. Um, my sister and I'm relaxing, of course, and she's taking in the view here of Bimini. The water is much more beautiful than it looks, I promise. But this is the Sea Cloud Spirit, a beautiful schooner that we got to see while sitting on the balcony here on the Celebrity Silhouette. I will tell you, if you're not planning to go on shore, or if you're planning just a short trip on shore, here on the Celebrity Silhouette, there are plenty of places to sit back, relax, and just kind of watch everything going by. So hopefully you enjoyed this trip on Bimini. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't, I ask you would. And until the next adventure, we'll see you next time, guys.